Welcome to Reality Hunt Club. In this webisode, we're going to talk about our management plan. Now, last year, I briefly went over our management plan. This year, I'm going to kind of take it a different way. Now, our management plan is something that Chuck and I write just to give us some guidance as to what we're going to try to do this year. It's kind of our schedule, our task list, what you want to call it. It also is a good way for us to relay to our club members as to what we're trying to accomplish this year, as to what new items we might bring into hunting, or such as supplement feeders, or what we're going to plant, how we're going to run our feeders, just stuff like that. So it gives us a good way to document all the stuff that we want to do. And this it's just a good way to keep us on track. Now, this is a living, breathing document. What I mean by that is, just because we have it down in writing doesn't mean we're necessarily going to do exactly that. I mean, yesterday it was one way, and today I changed it before I shot this video. So things are always changing. Sometimes due to budget constraints, time constraints, weather. Maybe a piece of property didn't come into play that we thought it would, little things like that. So this is just a baseline as to what we try to do. And so let's go over it right now. All right, I'm just going to open it up. It's a 13-page Word document that we have. I'm going to put this on the website in case anybody wants to download it and use it as a template. Now, I'm not saying this is de facto template or anything. This is just something we come up with. I'm an engineer, so I like documentation. I'm very anal about things. So this is just one way of me documenting what we do. So, like I said, it's 13 pages Word document. I started off normally by just showing our club. And like I said, we got a little over 1,600 acres. There you can see the property board, the boundaries. And of course, as always, I always tell you guys, our season runs from the 16th of January of one year to the 15th of January next year. That's basically when one deer season ends, and then the next one begins. And like I said before, I have a little disclaimer for all my members, anybody looking, that this is a living, breathing document that might change. And I always feel that, this is a quality deer managed club. Now, we're no way associated with the QDMA or anything like that, but I like the quality deer management term, and they kind of took it and put it in their title. So with any quality deer management club, you got to have your goals. And, here's our goals. We actually outlined our goals for our members and for us to remember. And everybody's trying to achieve the doe to buck ratio of 1 to 1, if it's possible. And of course, we shoot 3.5 years older bucks. We consider 3.5 mature in middle Georgia. And we try to get minimum 4 points or 15 inches outside the spread. We started shooting a lot more 4.5-year-old bucks. But we've got 8, we're going to have 8 to 9 members this year. And so I don't really want to say, hey, all you guys got to shoot 4.5-year-old bucks. So we keep teetering and tottering back and forth on that. But we're strongly encouraging it. I know for myself and Chuck and a few other members, we're only shooting 4.5s. Of course, we're promoting safety and hunters, sportsmanship. We're trying to improve the habitat. We're trying to protect the young bucks, increase the deer density. Anything you'd see in a quality management book, that's what we have written right there. Now, let me see here. All right, that's the goals section. All right, the next section is we just like to rehash some of our success. I mean, it's a good time to tell new members, also old members, or maybe you're trying to use this document to get members in your own hunt club. There's 9/11 that Bill Vincent killed, and you know he's a famous one that we've documented. Of course, there's Sway that my dad killed. There's the one I killed, and it goes back a few years as to bucks that we've killed. Just kind of establish a trend, saying, "Hey, look, we are meeting our goals. You know, it's starting to go ahead in a positive direction." Of course, there's the big one that Chuck killed back in 2007. Now, then I like to rehash what we did last season. We killed 6 bucks and we killed 12 does. And, you know, we killed the 7 gray foxes, 2 bobcats, 2 raccoons, and 1 coyote. And here's a few buck photos that we got from trail camera surveys and videos of some of the bucks that we think are still around. So I like to tell everybody, say, hey, these are the bucks we're going to start looking for when we put those trail cameras back out in May. All right, let's move on to the next section. Now, one of the new items that I mentioned before is supplement feeders. We put 2 supplement feeders together this year. We bought the feeder protein kits, which is the 3 tubes, and we bought a couple of 55-gallon drums, and we bought the tops, we bought the funnels, and we had the legs, and we put these together. And we got them out in February, and we put them about half corn in, you know, about half a 55-gallon drum of corn. So we were experimenting with them to see if the deer would come up. We've got our trail cameras on the feeders in video mode so you can see the deer come up. And we're going to do a future webisode of just the supplement feeders in the future. But we're going to try to put these 2 supplement feeders around where we're going to plant this in April. And I'll go over that in a minute where we're going to plant. So we're just going to see if the deer start eating the corn out of it. If the deer start eating the corn out of it, then we're talking about going and buying some supplement feed and putting them in there and trying to feed them April, May, June, July, and you know part of August when they're growing the antlers or when they're the does are producing milk for the fawns. So this is a new idea that we're talking about trying out. And you know, of course, you put it in this plan. And of course, we're talking about running 12 feed stations during the hunting season. If you see that Google Earth vision, you can kind of see where we had them. It's roughly about the same type places where we're talking about doing it last year. And also, we're talking about running those 2 on-demand feeders in the fall also. Of course, we're big mineral supplements. We found a Trophy Rock equivalent. That same company that makes Trophy Rock also makes these big old blocks. Same minerals, same materials, just bigger and a lot cheaper than buying a 5-pound rock off, and you know that looks like a rock, whereas this one looks more like a cattle salt block. So we're going to buy some of those. Now let's get in our planting plan. Okay. We currently got 32 acres we can plant around the club. And we normally plant 2 times during the year. We plant what we call spring/summer, which is around any time after the 15th of April. And we also plant our fall attracted plots October 1st. You know, somewhere around there. Could be a week sooner, could be a week later. Now this year we're going to obviously try to plant after April 15th. The plan is to plant 20 acres of peanuts, 4 acres of soybeans, and 6 acres of grain sorghum. Now, the deer will eat the peanuts and the soybeans. Obviously, they like the trimmings, the leaves that grow on them, and that's real good nutrition. Now, we have a farmer that's going to farm with Chuck, and they're going to plant the 20 acres of peanuts. And let me show you that real quick. See, we're going to plant the peanuts. We're going to plant 4 acres of peanuts on this field over here behind DeWitt's, and we're also going to plant 16 acres of peanuts over here. So that's the 20 acres of peanuts we're going to plant. The farmer's going to plant that, and he's going to harvest it around the 1st of September, which is fine with us because the deer are going to eat on it. And if you've ever seen any deer in a peanut field, you know they love to munch on the tops of those peanuts. So we're really excited about that. Also, he's talking about leaving us a few rows turned over so the deer can actually eat the exposed peanuts. Okay. Now we're also going to plant the power line up in soybeans. We're going to plant 4 acres of soybeans in here, and we're going to plant about 4 acres of grain sorghum. And what we're thinking about doing there is we're going to rotate them. 1 year soybeans, next year grain sorghum, and we're going to rotate it there. We tried to plant soybeans there all over there last year, and you can watch a future webisode as to the rain, the drought, and what we did wrong. Deer ate it, stuff like that. So that's the plan for that. So I'm really excited because the farmer's going to do a lot of bulk planting, and we're only going to have to focus on the power line. And we're also talking about planting 2 acres of grain sorghum below where the peanuts are, where the farmer's not going to plant. Of course, we're also going to fence in the 4 acres of soybeans. We're going to use an offset fence design. And that's going to be another webisode in the future too, and try to keep the deer out. Last year we used a cattle design where it has 5 strings of hot wire across it. Didn't work so well, as you can see in those previous webisodes from last year. So we're going to try a different approach this year. That's our spring planting. Now the fall planting is pretty much the same. We normally buy some oats out of the field for $40 per 55-gallon drums, and then we spread those in our fall food plot around the 1st of October. And here are some of our spots. I mean, these are our attracted food plot. There's the Y where my dad shot the sway last year. And here's a couple more food plots. And having Google Earth lets you take pictures and show the club members and also document when you're out there working where you want to plant. And as you can see, we've got close to 9 of those food plots we're going to plant our oats in. And of course, we're going to come back where the peanuts were. We're going to strip it in, and where the soybeans are on the power line and the grain sorghum, we're going to strip oats in those fields too. So I'd say our overall plan is we're going to plant about 34 acres between the spring, summer, and the fall, winter food plots, which is not bad. That's pretty good for a bunch of average Joes like ourselves. The next section is our predator management section. I'm not going to go over that too much. Well, we had a whole webisode before this one talking about our predator management. As you see, it's just a good way to relay the information to our members. We are going to do more coyote hunting, even though most of the predators season is over with February 28th, but the coyotes is open year-round. Starting to read a lot more about coyotes and predators in the southeast, see how bad they are in the Midwest and the North and out West. So we'll actually set some calls up. And we're going to try to call in some predators and shoot. Now, a new section is our trespasser management. And we're going to do a webisode on this. We've got some trail camera photos of people trespassing, actually hunting on our club. And I'm not going to go into too much details at this time about it, but I wanted to relay it and say we're going to come up with a trespasser management plan, and we're going to catch these trespassers just like we hunt predators. We're going to hunt these trespassers and try to get them off our club, make sure they're not hunting our areas. So it's amazing when you put those cameras out, what you start seeing is how many trespassers, and we got 4 or 5 different groups we think might be hunting on the club. So we're going to try to catch them. And of course, with any management plan, you need to have your measurements and metrics. And the harvest records, the observations, the people seeing a lot of deer, less deer, trail camera photos during the year, the surveys, just good ways to measure to see if all your members are happy and see if you're meeting your goals. Finally, the conclusion. It's just a wrap up, and there's some photos of some of the deer we've killed, some of the deer that have gotten away from us. And, conclude as to what our management plan is all about and what we're trying to do, which is be a quality managed club and to have all our members happy and to keep signing up. Also easy to recruit new members when the old ones leave. So, this is the 7th year we've done this. And like I said, originally I'm going to put this document up on the website for you guys to download. When I did this 3 years ago, I couldn't find a document that I like. I couldn't hardly find anything where people were sharing what their management plans format looked like. So I came up with this, and it seems to work for us. I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks for watching. I hope this didn't bore you too bad. If you got any questions or comments about this, please email me. You're going to get that information at the end of this webisode. And stay tuned. As you can see, when we have this document, we've got a lot of new areas we're going to cover this year in Reality Hunt Club. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. We have a ton of ways for you guys to follow us and to keep track of our new videos that we put out. Probably the most popular way is Facebook. Log into your Facebook account and go up to the top search bar and type Reality Hunt Club. There you'll see our Facebook page. Go over and like us, and you'll be getting updates in your Facebook stream as to our new videos that come out. Another way is youtube.com/ToxicGivens. Click the subscribe button up at the top, and you can subscribe. And of course, you can always leave your comments in Facebook. You also can do it here in YouTube. This is me showing you an example of how to leave a comment in YouTube. And of course, we have a Twitter account too. You can follow at ToxicGivens if you have a Twitter account. And of course, we have the website, ToxicGivens.com. You can follow us there. And if you've got an iPhone or any kind of MP3 device, you can click on the link iTunes, and we have an iTunes channel where you can download a smaller version of these videos. And finally, we're on Google+.
If you log in your Google Plus account and you type Reality Hunt Club, it'll take you to our Google Plus page. So many ways to follow us. Pick one, pick them all, however you want to. Please follow us and keep track of our videos, and we'll keep bringing you good content and from this point on. So thanks for watching Reality Hunt Club.